Opposites Attract podcast.
And I actually meant to this time. Let's go.
She meant to. And I'm so excited because I'm going to try to do the same voice each time. Because if you didn't notice, listening to episode 1, that is a part of our, slogan.
I was actually, so you have to hear me out. I, obviously, from the first one, was not as on board with this whole podcast video thing as Megan was. So when the actual episode aired, it was the first time that I had seen it.
I just want to say I'm so thankful for everyone, all 183 of you, who took the time to watch our podcast.
I just was excited because I was one of those first viewers, and I'd not heard the cuts, I didn't hear the jingle, I didn't see the little add-ins that got added, so I was watching it at work, on the clock, no regrets, and I thought it was hilarious to hear all those extra add-ins that Max
Also,
did.
shout out to @MaxwellVandergriff on the gram, because he is our executive producer, and he did a really great job. He made the jingle for us, he put the add-ins in, so make sure you give him a shout and tell him that you think he did a good job. So how has your week been? It's been 7 days since we've really gotten to talk to each other.
7 days. Well, I managed to make a trip home, which was cool. Home being not still Arkansas, not Little Rock, Arkansas, Northern Arkansas. And then, other than that, I've been working and schooling and the typical everyday 23-year-old life who dropped out of college. Right out of high school, yeah.
Living the dream.
Yeah.
Living the dream. Well, you know what? It's been stressful for me this week. That's why I look like garbage, so you know. And if I'm, stuttering over my words, it's just because my brain has, 5 things on it, and it's vendors, carnival, parking, maintenance, yard work. We have our biggest event of the year for Jacksonville, the city that I work for. We have the largest event of the year this weekend. So there is so many things that go into it on the last week that people don't realize. Picking up decorations, making sure vendors have a check-in form, all of these things that you don't think about until you're the one in charge. So my brain kind of is sit down and stop.
Thankfully, that's not anything I ever have to deal with. That's more your arena.
That's my neck of the woods. I don't know why I do this. This is a new thing that I think is gonna be my. That's my
It's
slogan.
okay. I realized after watching the first podcast video vlog thing that I peace sign when I'm uncomfortable. So if I keep doing that, it's because I'm awkward. It's fine.
Okay, so fun fact real quick, because everything that you see on Facebook is accurate. It's Twins Week. It's National Twins
Obviously,
Week.
if it's on the internet, it has to be true.
So, tell your twins you said National Twins Week. Happy Twins Week. Thanks for being alive.
Tell your twins. More than likely, we are your twins, so we appreciate the comments in advance.
So send us fan mail in the DMs. Okay, so this week we're going to go a little bit more in depth from what we talked about last week. We really want to give you a taste of what this podcast is about, so we want to hit the ground running. We're not going to tiptoe our way into it. So, if you guys have been following us on social media, which you can find us at OA Podcast on Facebook and Instagram, we've kind of been dropping hints here and there on what we're talking about.
This should not be a surprise to the people who are closer to me than Megan, what we're talking about this week.
What are we talking about?
We are talking about whether or not we are born to be mothers.
Moms! Maternal instincts. I think everybody who knows us can kind of point it out, but we're going to give you a second to take your vote. I was born to be a mommy. Katie was born to be the furthest thing from a mom.
Very clearly not.
So that's something that we've been opposite about, I think, from the moment we could, make decisions on our own. Growing up, or even in college, people would ask me, what do you want to be when you grow up? I have 100% always wanted to be a mommy. Everything else, I'm just winging it.
Okay, wait. I want to backtrack a little bit because I was actually thinking about this on the way to work today. And we talked about it in class on Tuesday, whether or not, how many times did you change majors before you settled on one? And I honestly didn't know for you. I know for me, my first major choice was sign language. So I actually made it all the way into the associate's degree before I changed my mind. Big mistake, because not only did I take a break from school, I decided to switch majors halfway through my school career, and I'm back in school for even longer. That being said, I don't know if you like chose your major and like stuck with it, or if you were part of like the huge percentage that changed halfway through.
So I always knew I wanted to plan events. I kind of was a part of, I call it the events committee in high school, but for us it was called Parent Center, so it was a little bit different. But I always knew I wanted to do that, and a lot of advisors didn't know where to like throw me. So the first college I was going to go to, they were going to put me in like public relations and PR, which is more like radio.
I think I do remember that.
Journalism. And then when I got to this school, Arkansas Tech in Russellville. Heck yeah. They were like, no, you need to do hospitality. You can do anything with that degree. And they cook, so you can eat their food too. So I was like, I'm on board for eating and getting cool school credit for it. So no, I never really did change my major once I declared it.
Also would like to take a pause to say that for the last 4 weeks our AC was broken, okay? And now it's miraculously working again. We got somebody out here like 9 times.
Miraculous.
Hang on. No, we got somebody out here like 9 times. It was finally working. Okay, then on my way home from school today, on work today, Brayton texted me, my husband, and was like, hey, FYI, it's 80 degrees in the house.
Okay,
so if you're hot right now, it's super hot in here. And
I couldn't tell. My husband has set up all of these different lights and microphones to make sure this looks decent. And
no, it's hot in here because I'm pretty sure our AC broke again. So you know what? It's fine. We're not going to die of heat stroke.
It's fine.
We actually made the conscious decision of buying a window unit the last time the AC broke. So we were able to get that installed in the bedroom. So at least at night, like
you can be cool.
It's cool. That being said, it was 79 when I got home. So the sun's going down. It's still super hot in the house. I don't know if
maybe all this rain that's
it's
destroying
just hot
my
out,
event,
or if our AC is broken again. If it is broken again, hopefully it's within that 30 days since the last time.
Well, if it's
so that
not,
it gets fixed.
it doesn't matter because they didn't fix it within the 30 days.
But they won't have to file a new claim and start all over. So if it's within the 30 days, then we can stay within this claim, and they'll just get somebody out like tomorrow. Otherwise, we're stuck starting from the bottom. Now we're here.
Adulting.
Yeah. So starting to advance. If our faces are hot looking, other than how hot we are.
That's our thumbnail.
Are, like hot looking because it's hot in here. It's because it's hot in here.
It is kind of hot. I thought it was the lights.
Okay, no, I wanted to point that out because I forgot to tell you when you walked in.
It's
today,
fine.
So, okay.
It has been a crazy week for us. So sorry, we're catching up and catching you up at the same time.
Okay, so forward tracking.
Maternal instinct.
Motherly life.
So yeah, I've always, even when we were, getting into our teen stages and girls start to get curvier, I think I hit that stage first, and Mom always told me it was because she thought like I had those maternal instincts, like that's how you carry babies. So it's always been something that like I have no doubt. Let me just clarify, I'm not trying to have a baby right now. I can't wait, but I can definitely freaking wait. Like I can't do it right now, but I know that that's where my life is leading me, is to be a mommy and to have babies and to like raise little people. Like it's just,
for as long as I can remember, that has not been a goal for me. Yeah, no, I don't get it.
I think I wanted to give some insight on you. I'm sorry, as I've already told you, this week has been like crazy for me. So my notes are on my phone today, and they're not actually even in notes. So I'm gonna be like kind of scrolling through different websites that I found. But I looked up a lot of things about like women in America today being moms. So the first
wait. Let me, before you get started, this is why I think that women in America today don't want to be moms. And this is my side point.
I have a list of like that. So tell me what you think is on this list.
So for starters, okay, we can't afford it. Okay, it's expensive to be a mom.
Okay, so believe it or not, that is the number one reason why adults are having fewer children. And it's 64% of women in America say that child care in general is just too expensive.
I would just like to point out the fact that there's no way that I can afford my expensive, like, active habits, like the things that I like to do, like going to the gym, which is expensive, by the way, okay? Like, work out and be healthy, but also spend $300 a month to do it. No, that was an extreme exaggeration.
There's another opposite because I don't run. If I'm running, something's chasing me, and you probably should run too.
Okay, no, sidetrack that, because how much you want to bet that people that I work with are going to be like, you say that all the time. I don't run either. I cycle, okay? Running is for losers. Okay, so it's expensive.
Sorry, followers.
So I can't afford it, okay? For all my expensive habits, I can't afford it.
Okay.
But on top of that, I can't afford it because my husband and I decided that the smartest decision in our life was to buy a house, as of now. So I'm 23, he's 25. We bought a house.
Okay.
There's no way we can make the payments and also afford child care and like child care, child diapers, child food, child clothes, renovating an entire room. I would also like to point out that we have not renovated any of our rooms. The only room that's put together is our bedroom. We've been living here for like 7 months.
And
so
this
it's fine.
corner of the guest room.
And this specific corner with
also,
only one thing on the wall.
What do you guys think, followers and viewers, of our new setup? We're not in the bed today. We're a little bit more lit. Tell us what you think in the comments below.
Swipe up. Just kidding. We need.
So I'm just gonna read the top 4 reasons.
Wait. Okay, so can't afford it. Okay. I'm way too selfish in my marriage to share my time with my husband with a baby, a full baby. Okay. Also, a full baby. Also, I don't think that, I was on a mind track there and I lost it, but there's just so many things. Like, I can't afford it. I don't want to share the time with my husband. And then I don't want to give my free time up to taking care of a baby. Okay?
No, not just a baby, a full baby.
A full baby. I also don't sleep enough as an adult, let alone, babies keep you up at night, okay?
Okay. So while she's gagging and getting herself together, the top reason, like we said, is it's too expensive. A lot of people said they want more time for it says the children that I have, but I just want to say the family that I have.
Yeah, I don't want to share my time with my spouse. I already don't have enough time with my husband, let alone to split that in more than half to give to the baby.
Right. So that's 54% of people. 49% of people are actually worried about the economy. They don't want their kids to be growing up in a place where they can't afford rent.
Also, to top all that off, it's not even so you bring this... I'm going to sound like the most uneducated person ever.
And also, if you want to just see her doing this in her element, that's going to be linked in the video and in the comments below if you want to watch. But we talked about this yesterday.
Kate, how long do you think women are pregnant for? Because she just asked Ashton and I how long women are pregnant. Don't tell her with your sign language.
9 months, right? It's 9 months. How many weeks?
It's 9 months.
Okay, I obviously am not a maternal instinct, and I've gone over this multiple times. But then you bring this baby into the world, and you're not just bringing it into a world with a bad economy, but you're also what if in 18, 19 years when you're finally be free, it's a bad person? What if it ends up being a murderer or something, and then that's you did that, you raised that baby, and I don't want that. That's a lot of responsibility. That's 19 full years.
While we're chasing this rabbit, let me just say, you can talk to so many people and have been raised by the same mom and end up so completely different. It's not necessarily, how you're raised is super important, and I, want to raise little, warriors one day, but also I can raise 2 different kids the exact same way, and they'll take different paths because at the end of the day, we have, we make decisions.
That's okay. That's a fair point, but also...
Okay. So, moving on from that one, I found an article, and it's by... And I'm probably going to butcher your name, so if you ever find this podcast, I'm so sorry. But it's Bridget Pellerini. Her podcast is titled, or her blog is titled, I Don't Want to Be a Mom. Is that wrong? And so
I would also like to point out that so many people think it is wrong.
Okay, but a woman is not made, okay, if you base it down to science, literally a woman is made to have children. But it's 2019, and I'm sorry. Women are not made to carry babies. You're not a freaking incubator.
No, incubator.
I want to be an incubator.
The whole process stresses me out. It's fine.
Okay. So I found out as I was reading that she is a mom and made this blog post, and I was like, whoa.
What?
She says, I love my kids. They're beautiful, wonderful people, and I delight in helping them grow into being the best versions of themselves. I try to be a good mother, but I can't stand being a mom. And I think this is going to relate to you more than you realize. So she goes on to explain that. Oh no, I can't find it, you guys. Okay. A mother is a life giver. She's a guide. She's a mentor. She's someone who loves unconditionally. No matter what your kids do, she's gonna love them. That's what she tries to be, as the best mother. A mom, on the other hand, is a cross between a maid and a social planner. Followers who are moms, we don't think that's all you are, but I think my entire life I was made to be a maid and like a social planner.
You would rather be a mom than a mother.
I would rather be. But she says, I have nothing against maids. I admire their ability to put other people's needs ahead of their own. I could never be that selfless. I think that's a big thing for you. Like, I think you want to, one day you'll be a good mother, but you just don't want to do, like, the mom thing.
We should take a quick pause to let our followers know that, like, I'm only 23 years old.
Yeah, we're
obviously
only
meaning she's only 23 years old. So we're really young.
I think at this moment you just are too selfish, and that's not a bad thing.
If I had to choose right now, if it was like you're gonna have kids one day or you're not, choose now.
Gun to your head.
Gun to my head. I'm not having babies. Okay, period. That's just how I am.
Gun
but
to my
I
head.
also know that this isn't
right
just
now.
a decision I need to make between myself and myself. This is a decision I need to make between myself and my husband. And so I know that further on down the line, if it were a different gun to my head at a different time, the decision might be different. So this isn't just something that, like, is on my shoulders.
No, it's not just a one-on-you decision.
I'm sure when I have a baby, I'm going to like it a lot, and it's going to be a great time. But
like it a lot.
Like it a lot. But as of right now, I just would rather not, yeah.
So, I don't know. I just thought that was interesting because, like, she is a mom, but she kind of was like, listen, I don't want to be a mom. I want to be a mother. Like, there's a huge difference. I just think when I look at you, I'm like, yeah, you're going to be a great mother and, like, raise your kids, but you don't want to do the, like, here's a calendar with different colors of where everyone's going to be for the rest of the month. Like,
I don't even do that with myself. So I literally sat down today. One thing to know is that I have a calendar in my kitchen, and I write all my work schedules on it. And that's just because our schedule comes out every week. Like, it's different every week. And I actually added a few of my husband's times because he's working a new job this coming week, which is really exciting. That being said, when I tried to tell him, hey, your schedule's on the calendar, he was not having it.
he just didn't want to look there. He just goes day by day.
Yeah, he goes day by day, which is exciting, except if he doesn't show up for this new job, it's actually on my shoulders because it's for me. So I need him to show up. So this is going to be one of those things that, like, we're going to have to figure out a way to get his schedule locked down. I don't know if it needs to be on his phone or whatever. That being said, if I can't lock my husband down, how am I supposed to lock some kids down?
As a planner, as, like, a coordinator, that's what I do. I have a calendar on my phone that I, like, link to my computer because I'm always at my desktop. But it's so convenient to, like, I'm like, I don't know what time I'm supposed to be where in the morning, and I can pull up my calendar on my phone.
Yeah.
And it notifies me, which you can set, but maybe that's a good idea.
I don't know. I mean, the days that he would be working second jobs, he would also be off, so it would be easy for me to keep up with. That being said, it's also not my job. So I wrote it on the calendar, and if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, things are going to change. But if I can't, again, we can't even plan our lives out, particularly week to week, so how am I supposed to be like, oh, but little Jimmy has soccer practice at 6.
Little Jimmy.
Like, I just, no.
So, I was looking these up on the way here because of who my week is as a person. And I stumbled across something on Pew Research, which I verified with Max, my husband, because he's all about, like, real, unbiased statistics. And Pew Research is a good one. So, if you want to look it up, you're welcome to do that. But this one is about motherhood, and there's, like, several. Oh, my gosh.
You put your legs on the camera?
I was wiggling the camera. We're having a dance party. Okay. Sorry. This one has, like, number statistics, which are kind of cool. I mean, they're not going to, like, sway you whether you want to be a mom or not, and I'm not trying to do that. But, so, did you know that... That was my, like, wait, because I don't know where I'm reading from. So, in 2006, 80% of women were moms. This is from 2016. It was up to 86%.
Okay, I would just, again, also times have changed a little bit in that a lot of people are not wanting to be moms now, but then
I get to that. Yeah.
at that time, that was it for you.
Now, and this is also at the end of the childbearing years. So this is statistically from ages 40 to 44. 86% of those women in 2016
That's a
were moms.
huge number.
It's a huge number. So it goes on to say that actually most, now as we're getting into like 2019, 2020, more women that are moms have like an education. Because back in the day, back in their prime, moms could either choose one or the other. Like, you were either going to be a mom or you were going to be a professional.
And society pushed people to being a mom, so everyone wanted to be a mom.
So this says, this was in 2014, but 80% of women in that age group, so the childbearing, ending of your childbearing, 80% of women had a PhD or professional degree.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So go
Get it,
women.
girls.
Get it, girls. Okay.
Get it. Get it, girls.
So it also says that women are becoming moms later in life. Because if you look back, 16, 17, you were married, having kids, raising a family. This is saying that at median age, women becoming mothers, can you guess what the age would be? Most people becoming moms.
So for me, I took a break from school. I'm 23. And I'm not done with my bachelor's yet. So that's going to be like 25-ish. And then I got 4 years of grad school. So that's going to be like 29, 30-ish. I'm thinking like 32 for moms. 32 to 40.
So this was
which is a huge range. Sorry, guys.
This was in...
I don't like to be wrong.
This was taken in 2014. So in 1994, the age was 23. That was the median. Which was a lot older than I was expecting for 94. But in 2014, the age is actually 26.
I was way too high, but also...
This is something, as someone who knows they want to be a mom, this is something that I've had a conversation with my husband about a lot. Like, when do we want to try to settle down? Which, you're never ready, or you are financially ready. I don't know.
What do you think that means? Settle down. Have babies?
Have babies. When do you want to, like...
What does your timeline look like, though? Because, like, and I'm not trying to argue with
No,
you, but
fine.
here comes
Go
my
on.
debate me.
We're debating.
But, like, debate me is like, okay, so you want to have babies, and so your timeline is like when. But on your timeline, don't you buy a house on there first?
Yeah, so I definitely want a house before we decide to have kids. For me, and Max and I actually talked about this. Where do you see us in 5 years? Where do you see us in 10 years? By 10 years, so that would put me at 33. At 33, I'd like to have found a home that meets our criterias that we own. We're not renting anymore. And maybe start looking at having kids. That's Max's 10 years. By 33, I would like to have already had a kid or two.
By 33?
I'm trying to...
Kid or two?
Okay.
Wait.
That being said, and I'm using your catchphrase here, followers, let's count how many times Katie says that being said in a podcast.
That being said, I'd like to know, let's take a little backtrack here.
But
Peace sign.
I'm married. If we were to have to start a family right now, it's something that we chose and we're going to do it. But, and I'm not going to like hit 26 and be like, we got to get pregnant right now. But I don't know if I want to wait 10 years.
Okay.
And for my husband, that's the timeline. For me, it's like, maybe we'll revisit it in 5 or 6 years. It depends on where we are financially. And like,
if I were to like
couple.
look at your timeline, it wouldn't be 5 years.
Oh,
it wouldn't even be 5 years. I feel like you're more likely, like, I know how bad you want it though, and I know how good you'd be at it. Versus like me, who I'm like, 10 years is so soon.
10 years is so far. Okay.
What else you got for me?
So, there was another, so in 2016, Mom spent how many hours of paid work per week? It looks like per week. Do you think women who were moms spent in 1965.
Like, how many a week were they with their babies?
No, how
Or
many?
working?
So let me rephrase that. I'm sorry, that was confusing. Back then, women either chose to be a mom or be a professional.
Uh-huh.
But the ones who were a professional had to work some and then be a mom the rest of the time. How many hours a week do you think they work?
They actually
Let's
worked?
keep in mind that it's 2019 and 40 hours a week is full time.
40 hours a week now, but you're asking what year?
In 1965.
65? How many hours did they actually work a week? Like in a job?
Moms, not people in general, moms. How
Less
many
than
hours
10.
were they clocked in?
Less than 10.
9 hours. It says in 2016, moms, and these are people that consider themselves full-time moms, and I'm assuming part-time
The thing
employees.
is, okay, it depends on if they're married or not. But either way, if you're trying to support yourself and your family, you're gonna
Right
have
now,
to
there's
work.
no way.
You're gonna have to work at least 40 hours.
Right now, if we had a baby, we would have to both work 2 full-time jobs.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I don't think that the statistic is gonna be even
This
close to
statistic
9.
is a little confusing for me, but it says in 2016, moms spent around 25 hours a week on paid work. And then raise their kids.
See,
the
if we
rest
were
of the
trying to have a
time.
baby right now, we'd both still have to work full time, which would mean that we'd also have to be able to afford
100%.
to pay a babysitter, and that's
And I want to say,
Not
this
happening.
is something that we agree on. I just don't. Moms are not paid enough. Even if you're not working at all, you're not paid enough. You're raising 2 future people. Like, they're going to
2
vote.
full people.
They're going to have lives. Okay,
Yes.
sorry, but you're not paid enough. Shout out to the moms. Okay, about 1 in 4 mothers are raising their children on their own. That was like a kind of like a slap in the face for me. Not that it's a bad podcast or I'm mad.
This is another one of those things that's a difference between 1960s and 2016, whenever those statistics are being pulled, is that like divorce rates are through the roof right
A
now.
lot higher.
Yeah, so
I
raising
think-
a baby alone, it doesn't surprise me that
And
number
it
is so
says
much
raising
higher.
their children alone. So I'm not sure how long of a time frame it's going to count that as. But for us growing up, literally from like 5 to however old you consider an adult, 18, we were raised by just a mom.
Just mom.
Shout out to mom. Follow her on Instagram at K-Spivey.
KT Bug.
Oh, at KT Bug.
48. Because she's so cute.
But our mom raised
She doesn't post, full
on her own.
disclosure. Be better.
I don't know if it would have been 1 in 4 then for that time frame, but single moms are not given enough credit. And on that note, single dads are not given enough credit.
Mhm.
Like, single parents bust it.
Mhm.
So,
Bust it.
bust it. Okay, okay, so that was the most important statistics, I guess, that I got out of that one on that website.
I just think it's funny, and like we're gonna turn this around just a little bit because I know that like this past week I actually went to Jacksonville where Megan works and lives, and I actually tried to sell some of my jewelry. It was a rough week, but that's
Speaking
fine.
of, we're both wearing a little piece of Unbreakable Beauties, so if you want to take a look at that Facebook page, we'll link it in the comments below.
That being said, while we were there was this cute little girl who was running around, and I can look at a baby and be like, "That's a cute baby," okay? But this cute little girl was like running around, and she, for whatever reason, chose me. Okay,
She didn't just choose her. Like, she comes around the corner, and all of a sudden, Kate's eyes start to get, like,
because
bigger.
I know for whatever reason I don't like babies and babies like me. So this girl was like in her mom's arms, and the mom like walks around the corner and she starts raising her hands up to me. And my sister was like off talking to some friends, and I was like, I know what's gonna happen. And the mom goes to sit her down, and I literally turned to Megan and was like, oh no, please stop it. And Megan was like oblivious to what was happening, and all of a sudden she puts the little girl down, she immediately runs to me and is like, pick me up. And how do you look at a little kid who's like, pick me up, and
Katie
not pick
looked
them
at me
up?
and was like, I have to pick her up.
So I picked her up, and I held her for like 2 seconds.
And the
then I
videos
was
in
like,
the comments below.
please help me. But then eventually Megan did help me, and she
No.
took said baby.
Katie didn't say, please help me. She looked me right in the eye, and she goes, I think it's time to take her. And I was like,
I don't know if I said her or it, but either
she said,
description.
somebody take this kid. So I'm like,
Somebody
okay.
did take the kid, and the difference between me holding the baby very awkwardly, like what if I drop it, and like her running around with it and like having a good time was, I wish I had gotten a video of you on the flip side, but it was like,
I literally looked her in the face and I said, I'm living my best life. And I ran around with her and I giggled with her. And it just, after such a stressful week, it was such like a breath of fresh air to just like play with a baby. But
that's the exact opposite of a breath of fresh air for me.
So sorry I keep going out of frame here. I am trying to get my notes found. This statistic I think is gonna cause you so much anxiety.
Wait, more?
This is a statistic based on what percentage of kids who had double parent households, so a mom and a dad, what percentage of kids said that they were most influenced by their mom and what percentage said they were most influenced by their dad. And before you say anything, I 100% think that your kids will be more influenced by Brayton.
Okay. 100%, but hear me out.
In the nicest way possible. I knew you were going to answer that. In the nicest way
possible. Brayton was not one of, and it's not just for women who decide if they're born to be parents, okay, men too. And I don't necessarily think that Brayton was born to be a dad, but I know that he's going to be a kick-ass dad. So, that being said, knowing that I am not supposed to be a mom, okay, but I will be.
And eventually. That's also not saying that you won't have influence on them, but most of the influence they get comes from their relationship with this parent. Okay, so, and these numbers don't match, so I'm really not sure. Statistics stress me out, but you would think that there would be like 50-50 or like
statistics last semester, and
60-40.
I was like, the whole time.
But 49% say that their mother was the most influential parent. 33% say that their father was the most influential parent. So I'm not sure where that extra percentage is, but the main point is the majority think mom was most influential. So it goes on to say that the majority of the people who think mommy was most influential are guys. Does that surprise you?
I don't know. And that's like, this is one of those things where like lately I've been trying to put myself through people's perspectives, but we were only raised by a mom, so I can only say, and like I would also like to backtrack and say that like we were raised by a mom, but we had influences from the rest of the family too. So yes. We had aunts and uncles and grandparents as well.
We had dad figures. We just didn't have a biological dad.
So it was mostly mom. So I can't necessarily put myself in the shoes of someone who had different or double or both or whatever. So I can't say anything, but it does.
I mean, mommy's
oddly surprise me. Yeah,
mommy's boys. Like
it does oddly surprise
that. Me. Didn't really shock me that much. Men still pick their mothers over their fathers, but women
Which sounds terrible, okay? We love everyone.
Okay, yes, we love everyone. But we do want to know, too, like, who is most influential for you? Mom or dad? And it says, but women say that moms were more influential by nearly 2-1. So, okay, again, I don't understand statistics, but it looks like also most women think that moms were more influential, too. So, dads, you're there.
Sometimes.
Also, we're biased, so we can't say anything.
Yeah.
I don't know. The one thing I know that I was made to be is a mommy. And again, I'm not saying that I want to be a mommy tomorrow, but I do know that that's going to be a big part of who I am. And I know that that's not really the case for you.
Maybe come back to our podcast 6 years from now and ask me again, but I honestly strongly believe 6 years from now I'll just be finishing my degree and I'll be really excited to get into the program. So I don't think it's going to be different for me.
I think that makes a difference too, because I'm done with school and I'm in my profession and I'm like kind of living my best life and I want to like share that.
Again, and I said it last podcast vlog thing. What are we supposed to call this?
This is like our vlogcast.
Vlogcast.
Noted.
Got it.
Hashtag vlogcast. Put that on, what's that website? You can add your own words, but it has bad words. What's it called? Where you're like, look up the definition of this on,
you'll think of it.
I'm going to look, so you keep talking.
On our vlogcast last week, I did say that between work and school and home life and all that stuff, I don't have time for it. And honestly, I don't. I mean, even at work today, I was doing school stuff, and even at school, I'm texting people about work stuff. Like, I don't have time for extras. That being said, when my career is over, it might be different. What's it called?
Urban Dictionary.
Add
vlogcast to Urban Dictionary.
Let's do it. Let's go.
Okay.
Something is
Something
happening on
is
the
asking
computer.
We both were like, burp, 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 burp. I don't know. I mean, I don't really have like a fun fact because it's twins week, and so like twins just for the win.
I got you.
But so Katie's gonna look up a fun fact. Again, super thankful that you guys are even watching this. We didn't expect 183 people to care what we have to say, but it's kind of fun, and probably like 100 of those are
My
me
fun
listening.
facts are gonna be way different than Megan's.
Probably. But okay, so do your fun fact.
Okay.
I'm so
A mother koala will feed her baby her own feces.
Wait, what the Stop. What? I thought we were doing twin facts.
No, I just typed in mom facts.
Koalas feed their babies.
No, but there's more.
Their poop.
Baby koalas or joeys, which
No, that's a kangaroo.
the more you know, haven't.
That's 2 facts in one. Okay.
Okay, haven't developed the intestinal bacteria that helps detoxify the highly poisonous eucalyptus leaves, which are a koala's main diet. So the mother feeds the baby the feces because they can break it down.
Ew, so it's actually nutritional?
Yeah.
Ew, so basically don't eat your poop because it's not.
If you're eating eucalyptus as a child.
Also, just if you're eating poop in general. Okay, also, here's a fun little kangaroo. Or wait, what are we talking about? Koala. Look in the middle. He's right there. Hopefully my husband can do that or that's just really stupid. Okay, well, we're signing off. Thanks for watching episode 2 of Opposites Attract Podcast.
Bye.